10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
How are you today, Rachel?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Rachel, it's really great to have you here today for an interview. This is a super stellar event for sure at Space Jockey Reviews. Are you ready to get into this interview and get it off the launch pad and out there into the universe?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Number one, Rachel, I'm going to start with the basic but all-important question I always ask. How did you get into acting?
I got into acting just by a referral from one of my friends. I started out as a model about 2 years ago, and a fellow photographer recommended me just to be an extra for a Discovery Channel show, and I had never even considered it. And then, I saw how cool it was to be on set, and I kind of fell in love with, acting because, in a way, modeling for me was silent acting. So as soon as I learned how to open my mouth, I guess it all started falling into place.
Yeah, okay, great. Who are your influences or role models?
In an acting sense or just in general?
In any sense that it makes a difference to you?
Well, definitely my dad. I mean, I know that's cheesy, but my dad is like really gung-ho, and he's always, pushed me to be the best person. And both my parents are educators, so, they make sure that I, was raised properly, and,
Yes.
They support me indefinitely, and I can't thank them enough for that.
Okay, well, that sounds like the best influence and role model there is, for sure. Yes. Some actors had childhood or teenage experiences that put them on the road to becoming an actor early in life. Do you have any stories to tell us like that? Perhaps you liked to do a lot of play acting when you were a kid or were in a lot of school plays?
No, actually, I don't have any training whatsoever. I guess I'm doing something right. I don't know. They keep hiring me, but the closest thing I can think of is I was an all-star competitive cheerleader. So I was used to being on stage and competing in front of thousands of people. So I had that kind of, interaction. But then again, my mouth was closed, like I was saying with modeling. And I didn't start modeling until 2 years ago. So this is still all very new to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's anything on stage is great
Yeah.
experience. I know that myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Rachel, one of your most recent acting credits is with the Hillbilly Horror Show, which is your first online video on demand production.
Correct.
Tell us about the Hillbilly Horror Show and your character, Lulu.
Hillbilly Horror Show is a 1 hour volume, and we just filmed the first two. But basically, we feature like short horror films. The first volume we're featuring four, and we have little snippets in between, like with the whole hillbilly aspect. There's three hosts total. There's two guys, and they're my brother cousins, so to say, and then I'm the sister cousin. But we kind of like flirt around a lot, have fun, crack jokes, and just play along with the whole hillbilly like horror nonsense. My character Lulu, she's the kissing sister cousin, I guess you could say.
Okay.
She's a lot of fun though. I mean, she's flirtatious, but at the same time, she kind of plays dumb, but she really isn't too dumb. Well, compared to her brother cousins, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a show where you review movies?
We more so introduce the volumes, and we kind of like let the viewers, experience them themselves. I mean, we do reflect on them for a little bit, but the clips that we have where we're interacting are only about a minute to 2 minutes. So it's more comedic than anything.
Oh, okay. What attracted you to the role of Lulu? What made you decide the character was right for you?
I would say that the fact that she's very fun, and it was a role that I wasn't even sure if I could honestly do. I had never done a role with a Southern accent before, but I guess I had to reach in my Georgia Peach roots because I'm from Atlanta. So,
Okay.
but yeah, she just seemed like a lot of fun, and it just seemed like a great role to have to interact with the cast because a lot of what we do is improv, and so with that role, I'm able to pull that off.
Okay, well, can you give us a little sample of that Southern
Yeah.
Georgia peach accent?
Hi, y'all. This is Lulu from Hillbilly Horror Show. I'm on here, reviewing, being all cute and stuff. I just got back from the grocery store. But yeah, I just had this fun little talk with my brother cousins, Bo and Cephas, but they're a lot of fun, so you should meet them sometime.
Wow, that is excellent.
I didn't know I had it in me, but
Wow. So you just learned that on your own?
yeah,
The accent?
my mom has a little bit of a twang in her. I mean,
Oh, okay.
she grew up in Roanoke, Virginia, but I mean, she lived in Georgia. My dad's from Georgia, but I don't know. I guess they have that in me, and somehow I'm able to bring that out.
Yeah, you sure are. I'm very impressed. That's quite a
Thanks.
talent already, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if anybody needs an actress with a very convincing and compelling Southern accent, there you have right there, Rachel Faulkner. Everybody, all the directors, listen to that. Uh, do you see any of your own personality in Lulu, or is she really not much like you at all? If she's not like you in any way, where do you draw the inspiration for her character as an actress?
I would say the fact, how she is fun, I'd like to say kind of relates to who I am as a person. I mean, when I'm on any set as a model or an actress, I always try to laugh, crack jokes, because at the end of the day, you're going to want that natural smile, and you're going to want to bring out, your natural happiness in order to like fully enjoy your role. I mean, if that is the role you're trying to do. So in that sense, I do think that we're related. I'm not quite as flirtatious, or I hope I'm not. uh, so, but yeah, I would say the funness, if that's even a word. Yeah.
Well, we'll just coin it right here on the
Yeah.
show.
Fun
Funness is,
brought to you by
yes.
Rachel Faulkner. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So,
On IMDb, I see that you had the role of Sofia Vergara, of a Sofia Vergara photo double in
yeah.
a movie called Chef. And I know that you are also, of course, a model.
Yeah.
You have many beautiful photos on the internet that show your qualifications in that area on a very professional level for sure. So tell us how you got into modeling.
I got into modeling just for fun. One of my friends in college, my sophomore year, when I lived right off campus, just, convinced me to do a photo shoot for fun. And I was just like every other girl, I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to have, pretty photos of myself that I can show to my family and friends. And I did it. And I guess, it ended up turning out really well. And the guy was like, have you ever thought about putting like a portfolio together and putting it out there? And maybe even meeting with agencies. And so I just pulled together a portfolio. And for a while, I was just freelancing for experience. And I'm not model industry standards by any means. So I kind of just did the freelance thing. And I really just created my own business in a sense. And
Oh,
that's how I've, built up the clientele. And I'm able to have the representation I do now today.
oh, great. All right. That's excellent.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. On IMDb, I see another movie in your credits that has a title that's very interesting for Space Jockey Reviews for obvious reasons, so
Okay.
I have to ask you about it for sure. It's a TV show called Monsters and Mysteries in America.
Yeah.
Tell us about that show and the role you played there.
In Monsters and Mysteries in America, it's a Discovery Channel sister brand show. It's through Information Discovery, or excuse me, Destination America. They're both sister brands, but it's a show where a lot of people retell these stories of encounters, so to say, that they've had with monsters, with aliens, with any sort of like paranormal creature. And a lot of them, they'll retell stories from people in the same town. So that, it's very believable in a sense. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing. But
I am. I
which
love
you are,
this.
Space
Yes.
Jockey. Yeah.
Oh.
So, but it was really cool. I was basically playing a younger girl who was reenacting her encounter with the Dover demon, and so I was supposed to be her when she was younger in high school, and she witnessed the Dover demon while she was driving home with her boyfriend in the car.
Okay. Well, I would love to see that. Are these shows archived anywhere or?
Yeah, I think you can actually buy the episode. I think they have it on Amazon, but you can look up the episode specifically on YouTube. But I mean, it's already aired, that episode.
Okay.
So
And it's called The Dover Demon.
yeah.
Oh, well, I will definitely look for that. I might even have to review it for the
Just
website.
scared and pretending to be like I just saw a monster.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you do a really good job of it. So
I
it's
tried.
all right.
We'll
Well,
see. I'll let you
I'm
look at it.
okay. Rachel, since I am, for better or worse, a regular eater of Pizza Hut pizzas, I have to also ask you about the Pizza Hut commercial listed on your IMDb page, in which you are credited with being the primary actress.
Yep.
Tell us about the commercial and let us know if there's any place we can find it, perhaps on YouTube again, or a Pizza Hut website, your website, or wherever. It just intrigues me. I don't know why. I eat a lot of Pizza Hut pizza, and I just had to ask you that.
Yeah, I did that commercial about a year and a half ago. It was one of my first roles. I was a twin, no, or a fake twin of this other girl that looked close enough to me, and they had some sort of special going on, like a deal for 2 pizzas, or I don't even remember what it was, to be honest with you. But so that they're supposed to just compare like the fact that we're like 2 hot twins, and they can get 2 pizzas and like a double deal of sorts. So. I honestly haven't seen the commercial, and I've been in touch with the agency, but it has aired. I've never seen it for myself, but it's something that's definitely worth putting on my resume.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'd love to see it, but I have no clue. I mean, that's what stinks sometimes, even with modeling. Like, you never know where your photos are and what magazine. You never know what state your commercial airs in.
Right.
They don't tell you that on set.
Well, if you find that commercial, let me know.
Of course.
And I will let that be known throughout the universe.
I bought pizza.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Pizza Hut. If they're listening, they might even like that type of intergalactic publicity like that.
Right.
It's pretty rare. Most actors have behind-the-scenes stories well worth telling. I know that in the movies I've worked on, I have more than a few good stories myself. Tell us a story about something that happened on the set of a movie, TV series, a commercial that you worked on. Perhaps something didn't go according to plan, or maybe something really funny happened. Anything?
Trying to think. Oh, I guess.
Oh, okay, good.
For Hillbilly, I guess it's more embarrassing, but it's kind of fun.
Okay, that's all right.
So we filmed Hillbilly Horror Show in Baltimore, Maryland. So it's cold,
Yeah.
And so we're filming all these scenes in like next to nothing clothing, and we were doing promotional shoots, and I have this like teeny tiny American Apparel flag bikini on, and we're filming like product shots and clips, and I'm jump roping in this tiny bikini. And so let's just say there were some Janet Jackson moments that occurred that I tried to just pretend that didn't happen. But I told it, I was like, Bo, you better watch out, because I could see it happening. So he was on boob patrol.
Okay. That is certainly a story to tell. Yes. What is your favorite movie genre and why? Fantasy, horror, sci-fi, or something else? Since you are a host of the Hillbilly Horror Show, I'm thinking it could be horror, but you could surprise me.
I don't know if I can decide on one favorite, to be honest. I really enjoy movies as a whole. I mean, I love a good romantic comedy because I'm a girl.
Yes.
But
yes.
I also, I really like, I'm a nerd. I love like Transformers, and I love special effects, or, the more realistic looking, the better. So.
All right.
I'm not too picky in a sense. I'm not like gung-ho, like we have to see this movie because it's horror, because it's sci-fi. I just love good movies.
Well, that's the same answer I would have. Most people think I must be locked into the horror, sci-fi, and fantasy genres myself because I do the website. But I'm the same way. I have movies from every genre in my collection, just like you. Great answer.
Good to know.
And you're a nerd with this too, you say, because it's really popular. It's really just very fashionable to be a nerd these days, it seems, Do you have at least one favorite movie in a sci-fi, horror, or fantasy genre? Does anything just jump out as the one you like to watch just at least once a year because it's so good?
In the horror industry?
Well, it could be science fiction or whatever. I
really like all the exorcism movies just because they seem so realistic.
Yes.
And I was raised Catholic. I can't always say that I abide by those Catholic rules, but no, they're just like so realistically scary. And I think to me that, it's haunting, but in a sense, it draws me in to see all the, the new exorcism of Emily Rose, and just it keeps on building up from there.
Okay. That's okay. I agree. Those are some of the scariest movies for me also, beginning with The Exorcist. Absolutely a classic there.
Green pea soup. Gotta love it.
Yeah, yes.
Or not love it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, my next question was about what you think really is the scary element in the best of scary movies, but I think you just answered that. So
the realism.
There you go. Okay. What do you prefer most and why, acting or modeling?
That's tough.
I thought it would be.
I mean, there's so many positives and negatives of each. I guess I started out modeling, so there's always a special place in my heart. But, as a whole, the modeling industry is very materialistic. And for most females, there's such a short time span. So I would say it's less realistic in the sense that you can build it up to a career. I mean, I've been trying to do that for the past 2 years, and I've had, I like to think I've had remote success with that. Acting's still very new to me, but it's something that, I really appreciate. And as soon as I graduate in May, I really want to, get the ball rolling with that and, develop that into more of a lifetime career.
I will agree. You have a wonderful portfolio.
Thank you.
Of photos that I've seen, and I'm sure I haven't even seen all of them. So just Google Rachel Faulkner and the images. There's a lot of them. Beautiful pictures. Yes, there. From your experience, what is the most challenging thing about being an actor?
I would say accepting roles on shows that, don't always have the most prestigious repertoire.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just became SAG eligible, and so that's a huge step for me. And I just got added onto IMDb too. But when I first started, I really wanted to just be an extra in anything because I just wanted, opportunities. I wanted to meet crews. I wanted to network, and I still try to do that. But now that I look back on some of the things that some of the sets I've been on and seeing how different on a professional level some of the people act on set, I'm I kind of wish I would have been more limited in a sense.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, at the end, I'm not trying to blame anybody or make anybody seem that I've worked with shine them in a negative light.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
I mean, with modeling, I did the same thing. I wanted to really get my name out there, and then I calmed down and became more limited and more strict. So I guess I'm kind of in those more strict stages now.
I think from what you've described, it sounds like the right thing to do. At first, with whatever you do, you kind of just have to take, what there is. And then, right. And then once you become a superstar, you can just pick and choose what you want. And
If that happens, I don't know.
What do you find most rewarding about being an actress so far, from your experience?
I guess receiving new opportunities and being introduced to people that I never even thought were in my future of meeting. It just amazes me how much goes into the industry and how many people take part in producing the final product, and just being able to work with those people and see how true they are, as as fake as people may make them out to be, just embracing their presence and accepting their education. And I don't know, it's even things like radios. I did my first radio interview this past week, and I was shaking when I got off the phone, and I was just red in the face, excited. And
really,
I just really appreciate everything that's happened.
So you did your first radio interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I listened to a radio interview that was, I believe there was a link to it on your website. Anyway, I listened to it, and so maybe it was your first, but I will tell you, it didn't sound like it was your first. You did a fine job.
I've done, so it has to be.
You must be like me. When I was younger, I was also very nervous and all that stuff, but people would tell me that I didn't seem like I was. So at least it made me feel. So you're like me there. Good. Yeah. Lots of actors eventually wind up writing, directing, or producing their own movies. Mm-hmm. Do you already have ideas or aspirations for a movie you'd like to write, direct, or produce? And if so, tell us about that.
I wouldn't say I have aspirations in a directing or producing sense. I mean, I would like to partake in production sets from, almost every aspect just to appreciate, what everybody does, as
Right.
far as costume and direction and writing. But I would say I could see myself more in a kind of like acting coach or modeling coach sort of way, because I just love helping out people.
Yes.
And I like making connections for them. But at the same time, I don't want them to be like a Rachel Faulkner mini me. But,
Right.
I want to get the ball rolling for people if I have the time. And
Yes. Well, just to show you where this stuff can go, even with anybody, I started out with the reviewing, but like you, I wanted to see what it was like to make a movie and direct a movie. So I've even done that. It's even branched out for me into doing those things. So you just never know where it goes. What advice would you give to all the aspiring actors out there trying to break into the business and get a career going? I know that it's not such an easy thing to do, and since you're experiencing some of that now, what would you say?
I would say, be headstrong and, don't let things that people say get to you. Be fully prepared to embrace environmental conditions, because you may think that, it looks sunny on set. It could be 10 degrees and you're almost like prepared for hypothermia, and they're not going to give you heat warmers. And you just have to be prepared for that and know that if this is really what you want to do, then you'll do whatever it takes in that sense.
Yes.
Also, network. I can't even put, emphasis on that, because that's, why I'm here today. And always be professional. I mean, I don't even care if it's a makeup artist, a producer, even just an extra on set. They'll remember you by the way you treat them.
Yes. I agree. I mean, those are some great lessons there for just about anybody. Just even applies, even from my experience, just like you said, the networking and the professionalism, it's just all so important. Yes, for sure. What else is currently on your resume that you'd like to tell us about?
I've done a few wedding magazines lately that's been kind of exciting for in a modeling sense. I just shot the cover of the Roanoke and New River Valley Wedding Planner magazine. That's a Virginia-based magazine, but that was like my first. Well, I've done another cover, but it was with a bunch of girls, so we all got to kind of share the light. But I just shot this cover with my boyfriend, who's actually a photographer as well, and that was, it felt really cool to have him be a model, for the day, and embrace that cover with him. So that was a lot of fun.
Yes. What plans do you have for the future, Rachel? Any new projects on the radar with acting, modeling, or anything else?
Well, graduate for one in May. So do everything right. I'll have my Bachelor of Science, even though that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. I'll have a degree. Hey. So I plan on moving somewhere at some point. I'm not sure where that will be yet, but it's looking like probably either Atlanta or maybe NOLA. But I'm originally from Atlanta, so I wouldn't mind going back. And I mean, it's really booming right there in the filming industry. And, I've had people contact me, so that may be in the works.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go? This is your opportunity to talk about anything I haven't asked, which is still a whole lot, I know.
I would like to give a shout out to Hillbilly Horror Show, because it does drop on Saturday. So March 1st is our first volume, and it'll be video on demand online. So look out for that. You can check out all updates at facebook.com/Hillbilly Horror Show, and also hillbillyhorrorshow.com, and follow us on Twitter at hillbillhorror. If you want to follow me and be my cyber stalker, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Rachel, RACHEL _FBABYY. So Rachel _FBaby.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And I will repeat all those in the end, and also again. So, but you heard it. Rachel is asking for cyber stalkers. So just
come follow me, ask me questions.
Yeah, and I bet you respond. You respond?
I respond to comments.
All right.
I get busy, but I really try to make sure I stay in touch with my followers and fans. Now
that's the way to build a very big fan base right there.
Yeah.
The fans know they can interact with the. Yes, there you go. You got it. Now I have what I call 5 random questions designed to get to know you better personally. So here they are.
Okay.
Number 1, if you could go anywhere in the world you've never been before or anywhere in the universe, since this is Space Jockey Reviews, where would you go and why?
I would like to go to Australia because I have a cousin there that I have yet to visit, and I think kangaroos are pretty badass.
Yes.
And I'd like to see some kangaroos and koalas and
wallabies, yes.
Yeah, and wallabies. Well, don't leave them out.
Right, yes, absolutely. Plenty of kiwis down there, too, I heard.
Yep.
Okay.
Coconut water.
Yeah.
White Girl Central, basically.
Yeah. Number 2, if you prepared your favorite meal for a special guest, what would be on the menu?
Something with bacon involved and something with pumpkin flavored.
All right. Okay.
Pumpkin pancakes, actually. I make good pumpkin pancakes.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, they're good.
So you're a big fan of pumpkins?
Yeah.
Flavor? Oh, okay. Maybe you can put some of your recipes out there somewhere sometime. I'm sure people would like to try that. Number 3, if you could travel back in time and interview a famous person from the past, who would it be and why?
Famous person from the past. Probably Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I know that's cliche, but she's just, such an empowering feminist, and I think it'd be really cool to just hear her voice and, get to talk to her.
That's an answer that I couldn't hear too often. She's just a classic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Number 4, if you could play your favorite character in your favorite movie, what would be the movie and the character? In case there's a remake someday. This could be a plug here for it.
This is another cheesy little kid in me kind of answer, but I would say Princess Diana from Princess Diaries, the Disney movie.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 5, what do you most like to do in your free time?
I like to practice Bikram hot yoga.
All right. Tell me a little about that.
I don't know the exact degree, but it's really hot. I mean, you basically sweat from every pore in your body. So the first role of the first class is to just get through the class without passing out. I just like challenging, my body. Like I used to run half marathons, so yoga is the close day-to-day activity I can do to relate to that.
Okay, listeners, be sure to follow Rachel Faulkner on Twitter at Rachel_FBaby with 2 Y's, or just do a search for Rachel Faulkner on Twitter, and I can already tell you that she will be the most beautiful one who pops up in the search results for sure. I've already checked.
Oh.
Find out more about Rachel on hillbillyhorrorshow.com, and be sure to look for her as Lulu on the Hillbilly Horror Show. Also, don't forget to look for Rachel in the various TV commercials she's appeared in. For a complete list of those, be sure to check her filmography on IMDb. And last, but definitely not least, as they say, check Rachel's official website at rachelfbaby with 2 Y's .4, as in the number 4, ORMAT.com. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, great. Okay. Where you can find loads of extra info about Rachel, including beautiful photos, modeling videos, acting reels, her resume, and loads of other things. Just make sure you have time to hang out there a while because it is a truly captivating website. Again, I've been there. I know. I've checked it out myself. And if you can't remember all of this, and that's a big possibility, just check Rachel's interview post on Space Jockey Reviews, where you will find links to everything I've mentioned. You can also tune into Space Jockey Reviews for the latest about Rachel and everything she'll be doing in the future. Since I'm the editor-in-chief, I can assure you of that, yes. And I have no doubt that even the ever-expanding universe will have trouble keeping up with Rachel. Rachel, this has been another truly out-of-this-world interview. Good luck. Keep Space Jockey Reviews updated with all you do. And again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, and I appreciate you for having me as well.
You are so welcome.